All right, everybody, got a 2017 Subaru Forester on the rack, and customer states they want new front pads and rotors. I don't know why. These appear to be okay. They didn't complain of a noise, they just said they want to get the front ones done. They recently had the rear ones done. Now it appears that this endeavor was pre-planned because I just had a parts delivery. Those were shuffled over to my area before I even had this car in my stall. I just took it out on a test drive. I don't feel any vibrations out of the front of it. Sorry guys, I didn't record any of that. I didn't think I was going to make a video out of this, but since we have an odd situation forming here, I figured it'd be best to if I just documented what was going on. That being said, I'm going to pull these pads out and just get a better measurement of them besides kind of looking through the access holes or whatever. But I don't think it needs anything. But you know, if they want them, sure. I'm just not understanding really why I'm going down this road. Perhaps there's a problem that it's not being communicated very well, and they think it's the brakes. Perhaps the new brakes that were installed in the rear are the problem. But we're assuming that since the rears are new, that must mean that they're good. Therefore, the fronts must also be the problem. But again, none of this has been communicated to me. I'm just speculating. And I guess at this point, I'm just going to do what I'm told and just record all of it. All right, let's get the right angle for operation here and get a closer up inspection of what's happening inside of this caliper. Hey, oh nope, they didn't get it. Pick up the phone. It's my fault. I did it. Now, according to some, they claim that these brake pads are warranty 2 millimeters. So I'm going to bust out the highly accurate and precision measuring calipers made by Mitu Toyo. These are the best ever. It's like Snap-on's version, or Japan's version of Snap-on measuring devices. And we're now in millimeters. And let's see what we've got. We'll go off the backing plate with this little protrusion here. We'll go off the backing plate, flatten it out on the pad, and the survey says 4.5 millimeters. So that's, I believe they embellished a little bit. Whoever came up with the figure of 2 millimeters. And just for fun, we'll check the next one. That's 4.6 millimeters. Okay, so as per the specifications, these do not require brake pads. I'll be sure to document that. That way I'm covered. But you know, I mean, they say customer's always right, and this is what they want, so I guess they can have what they want. And you know, like I said, I don't mind doing jobs that aren't exactly required. Oop, lost that. I'll be right back. As I was saying, I don't mind doing jobs that are not exactly required at that time, but I would like to know why, or at least what their concern is supposed to be. The reason that I need and like to know this kind of information is it's a CYA kind of thing, a cover your own. Why won't that go back in? What's going on here? Try to wiggle it some. Maybe force my hand. There. That little rubber thing was holding it up. The reason, anyway, like I was saying, the reason I like to know is because if there is a problem and this thing was diagnosed by a third party, a neighbor, someone at the front counter, or the guy at the parts store, and then they come here and have me perform a service, and somehow their problem is not corrected by whatever I did, brake job for example, then they immediately come back and they tell me that I did not do a good job, even though I did exactly what was asked of me, and I did it to the best of my ability. Because the trouble is this job is not just a nuts and bolts and car job, it's also a human job, and to some degree a psychology type of job. And not knowing what certain people's motivations are can often lead to miscommunications and, you know, doing work that doesn't really actually need to be done. So I'm not ranting, I'm just trying to let you guys know what it's like when something like this shows up. You know, most folks will go, hey, just take the money and smile about it, and then, you know, you do that and you end up shooting yourself in the foot, because that temporary gain can turn into a long-term loss. Next thing you know, I'm ripping somebody off just because they don't understand what's going on. Click, reverse click. So, okay, so yeah, that will conclude my soapbox for the day. For some reason, there's always drama. Like, the man drama that occurs in a shop atmosphere is just overwhelmingly high. I don't understand. Why? More hammer swinging. Change the angle of the dangle. I win. That was pretty good. Like I said, I've already got shiny new parts here, so there'll be no waiting on these to show up. Nice shiny. Uh-oh. Didn't have that threaded all the way. Roll. There. Click. Cool. Oh, by the way, I've got a new brake pad here, and let's go ahead and measure those for thickness. And we're at 10 point, messed that up, didn't I? 10.9, 10 point, yeah, there we go. There's 10.6 millimeters, 10.5 and some change. So the pads that were removed are 50%. As I said, in my opinion, 50% is not really eligible for replacement based on wear. I don't think that these things needed to have a brake job done. But hey, that's just me. What do you guys think? Let me know down in comment land. Go on there, please. That shim's not straight. There, now it is. Okay, the upper shim's not straight. Now it is. Okay. While we're here, one other thing that I will mention is that I do not install lubricant on these shims. And I know that my friends up in the Great White North would disagree for reasons of rust protection, but down here we don't have that kind of corrosion problem. The reason that I do not install lube on the shims, actually two reasons. One, the manufacturers do not install lube here, and two, I found that when you have grease and lubricant on those pad shims, as the brakes wear, brake dust will build up on that lube and take up the space between the pad and the shim and potentially cause a binding condition. thus negating your original intention. And I know that's a topic that's up for debate, but I believe that the best practice should be geographically based rather than as a general rule of procedure. There it is again. Wrong way. Fail. Okay, let's swing around to the other side. Maybe we'll find a problem over there regarding these brakes. Let's see what we got here. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a problem. Time to escalate. Gotta break that off. Here's how I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna lock this rotor into place with the screwdriver, and I'll use a big ratchet, twist this thing till it breaks off. There. No way. There we go. I got it. There's the carnage. Snapped it off clean. It's good. Let's go over here for a better view. This is going to go one of two ways. The stud is going to be easy to remove, or I'm going to have to remove the bearing assembly. My micrometer tells me these are similar to the driver's side at about 5.5 millimeters. Okay, let's see how this is going to work. I think I'll be able to drive this out without removing this hub. That's cool. To take our lock out, I need to turn the wheel to rotate the assembly some to get a better angle. And I need some impact power. Before I go and order the new one, I want to make sure this one comes out clean. That way I can just present a solution and it's not a problem. Loud noises. Sweet. And that's That's our old broke, stretched, over torqued, or cross threaded. I don't think it was cross threaded. I think it was actually over torqued. Whatever. It's done now. All right, so while we were waiting, I went ahead and lubed these slide pins, changed the shims, and loaded these brackets with the new pads. I have here a new stud. And I will use this taper bearinged stud puller to pull this stud through using the new lug nut and a little bit of lube so I don't gnarl the threads on it, because that would be bad. Let's see if this is gonna work. I bet it is. Here she goes. Just like that. Yeah, now that we're back in business, in an effort to spare you guys monotonous repetition, I've also gone ahead and sprayed off this rotor already. Uh-oh, pad came out there. That came out again. Stay. Click. Okay. Let's depress this caliper, and we'll be done here. What's up?
You know how your rotors get those grooves that roll like around?
Yeah.
Did the caliper cause that?
No.
He's over here trying to tell me a bad caliper is gonna cause a light. No, it's not.
Okay.
Most likely what they did is they just passed that and kept the same fucking rotor. They never turned them or nothing. And
yeah, that's what happened.
they're just warped as fuck.
Yeah, no, it does not need. I can tell you right now, you don't need calipers unless you got one that's sticking.
Exactly. She's like, look, this triple caliper. I'm like, listen, when I test drove it wasn't pulling towards any side. The caliper was good.
Mm-hmm.
And then she wants to tell lady, what do I need a caliper?
Yeah, we're approaching the Armageddon phase again.
Yeah.
Real quick. Click.
She's here by herself, that's what it is.
That's always what it is.
Well, I mean...
And one more spray. Okay, the front wheels are installed, both sides, of course, and torqued to the proper specification. Let's go take this out on the road and just make sure that the work that I just did is not any kind of a problem. But first, got to pump up that brake pedal. As those pistons in the calipers collapse, they leave a little bit of space in between the piston and the pad, and if you don't pump that up and expand those pistons, your first braking event will yield no braking power and the pedal will go to the floor. And that could cause a collision of some sort and possible vehicular damage, which would be bad. By the way, that tool that you guys saw me using to depress the pistons in that caliper, I am frequently asked about where to acquire one of those, and as per my usual protocol and shameless Amazon sales pitch, I will leave a link for a version of those particular tools down in this video's description. Okay, we're riding along in our Subaru here. Let's go ahead and initiate a stop. All right, I don't hear anything. Nope, not hearing any noises or grindy, squeakies, anything like that, so I think we're in good shape. I heard some suspension clanks over that bump there, but that's apparently not the issue here. All right, out on the road, and yeah, guys, I did remember my seatbelt this time. We've got no one behind us. Hi, I can see you. Got nobody behind us, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a 50-mile-per-hour stop, or at least a near stop. And I feel no vibrations. I also didn't hear anything. All right, so this front brake pad and rotor replacement job is a resounding success. I sure hope that fixes their problem or their concern. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, I hope that changing those parts up there resolved said issue. That being said, and as per my usual protocol, I would like to thank everybody here for watching this video. If you're here at this segment of the video, that means you watched it all the way through, and I really appreciate that. Since you did watch it all the way through, I'm assuming that you liked it, and if you could, please tap that thumbs up button to communicate to me and to communicate to YouTube that I have done a good job here today. If YouTube thinks I'm doing a good job, it's far more likely to recommend my content to other potential viewers, and that's good for me and good for them. And now that I'm creeping up on this red light right here, I'll take this opportunity to remind myself to not forget, to remind you to not forget to have a great day. See you guys later. Turning. Man, you guys, check that out. This Kia in front of us has a dog of some sort driving Ace Ventura style. Yep. But don't text and drive, because you could get into an accident. But you can have a husky on your lap. This is the world we live in. It pains me. You know, that makes me wonder how many car accidents have been caused by dogs in the driver's seat that ran or moved or did something or jumped on the steering wheel and actually caused a car accident. I'd be curious to learn that statistic. So if anybody happens to know, any cops or lawyers maybe, perhaps veterinarians who may treat dog car crash wounds, let me know about that. I'd be genuinely interested to learn just how many car accidents are caused by dogs. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm sure that there is a stat out there somewhere for car wrecks caused by canines. Alrighty, back at the shop. We're all done here. Powering down. Goodbye, Subaru.